I started my quarantine in the last week of April. At that time, Singapore imposed 14 days of quarantine for people who enter from the US. And you're assigned into the government-designated hotel.
Yeah, you're trapped. I mean, who likes quarantine?
Like many of you, I'm not an exception. As much as I like to stay home and live a simple and minimalist lifestyle, I also like to have the convenience of using laundry machine and my freedom of breathing fresh air. Oh, did I tell you there's no open window in my room?
But what can we do? So I just decided to make the best out of these 14 days. I will appreciate a thumb up and subscribe to my channel.
Some people say minimalists can survive better in the quarantine because we don't need many things to live our lives. But is it really? Let's find out. I landed at 5:30 a.m. from San Francisco. After a 17-hour flight and 24-hour commute on the road, I was just so exhausted when I arrived. The government staff arranged our bus and arrival. We entered from the back door of the assigned hotel, and we are all shocked and thought that we are going to quarantine at HDB. Later, we found out it was actually Grand Hyatt, but we were put into the old wing instead of the new wing. The old wing is really old. When I first arrived in a room, the kettle was not working, the sake was not working, the fridge was overheated, and I was told to leave the fridge door open. As I was just past the 1 week mark and was looking forward to only one more week to go, then one day in early May, something happened.
The government just made the new announcement. Everyone who entered from the high-risk countries will be required to do 7 more days of quarantine, including those who are already in quarantine before the announcement, and that really sucks. I haven't received an official email yet, but I heard from those who got the confirmation it's an extra $1,200 for 1 more week. Previously, I've already paid $2,300 for 14 days.
Oh well, now I really have to live with my minimalism. Due to jet lag, 15 hours difference between California and Singapore, I woke up very early. In the beginning, I got up at 3 a.m. and later normalized to 7 a.m. I spend a quick 5 minutes checking my YouTube and emails on bed that can gradually wake me up. The first thing I do every morning is always to open the curtain. I love to have the sunlight in. The hotel room is not big, but this is definitely my favorite corner of the room where I spend my entire day as long as I'm awake. I love the natural light and the smell of the freshness in the morning. This is also something that makes me struggle the most during quarantine because I only have the glass but I don't have a window. How much I would love to feel the heat outside and listen to the churning bird. I always start my morning with a glass of water. Thank God, hotel gave me this box of 24 bottles of water to start. I drink lots of water. And I also requested for some slice of lemons. I have the habit of getting a cup of milk tea every morning. It's my caffeine solution to wake myself up to prepare for a more productive day ahead. In the hotel, they don't provide me any milk tea, only some coffee mix. So I try to figure out a way to get milk tea. But something unfortunate. Because I didn't have a local SIM card yet and already cut off my US phone, I couldn't register for any food delivery app as they all require a phone number. I even contacted a telco through online support. They told me they don't deliver to non-residential address. Then that's a really big challenge for me. How can I survive without caffeine? After the first couple of days suffering without milk tea, I finally got my Desi Gao Kosong delivery from my friend, which is basically an extra strong milk tea without sugar. Gao stands for strong in Singlish. If you ask me what's the favorite part of my quarantine day, I would definitely say every morning when I'm feeling the sun through this window, sipping my milk tea and listening to jazz music. It's simple, but it's something that brings me the most joy of the day. And yeah, I also bring this heavy speaker with me as part of my survival kit. Now on the same note, in addition to the music speaker, let me introduce you to my survival kit. This Thai chili is my number 1 on the list. Without chili, I would not be able to eat any meal. Then I have my MacBook to do all the works and Zoom meetings. Of course, my daily milk tea. Because there are too little vegetables in the hotel meal, I got my friend to send me broccoli whenever possible. I'm not an early bird, but because jet lag, I found myself more productive in the morning. So I usually spend the morning either working on my professional work, advising companies on product and expansion strategies, or writing my next YouTube script and planning out my contents. Thanks to this quarantine, it actually allows me to be in a quiet environment to focus on my work. I think this is also one of the biggest benefits of minimalist lifestyle.
It's growing so well.
Because I'm always engaged with lots of work and YouTube creation, breakfast, lunch, dinner time come faster than I expected. Hotel always provide 3 meals on time. For example, the breakfast start at 7 a.m. It's too early for my personal schedule. I'm a big eater, so on the first couple of days, I was constantly hungry because the portion of their so-called standard meals is just too small for me. It's like kids' meal, so I was really hungry that I couldn't sleep on my first day. I tried many attempts talking to the hotel. First, I missed the first breakfast on my first day, so I asked them to send me back the breakfast I missed. They said if I missed the schedule, then I couldn't ask it back. Then I tried to ask them to give me 2 portions of the dinner, but they said it's government standard and they can't change the portion, so I gave up in the end. After 2 days, some surprise happened.
After complaining to them that the portion is too small, now they only write here more rice. They only give me more rice and more carb. Yeah, so these couple of days I've been eating only carb. There's like no fruit, well, except for 1 apple, and yeah, no vegetable.
Another surprise happened.
Today is day 6. I just received my dinner and I keep laughing because they gave me like 3 boxes today. I think they know how hungry I am, so I'm like keep laughing after I received this.
I've tried every single item on the menu, nothing is that great. So gradually I transitioned from being hungry to losing appetite over time. To be honest, out of everything on the menu, my favorite dinner is actually this fish fillet. It looks very boring and simple, but with the Thai chili, it's really the best. I was very satisfied with this meal. So now, besides eating and working every day, how to keep healthy? Some of my quarantine neighbors rented a bike in their room to exercise. For me, there are 2 very simple activities that I did. Firstly, taking a bath. I'm glad that I brought this Epsom bath soap with me from the US. The Epsom soap is quite nice. It helps you to recover from your body pain, soreness, and fatigue. I started doing bath in the recent couple of months because my neck is very stiff from the video editing and working on the laptop. Oh gosh, this feels so great. Secondly, HIIT, which is a type of cardio exercise. It's my first time trying HIIT. Since I don't have a yoga mat, I just went on YouTube to find a video that I can do standing exercise. I moved my luggage to the hallway so I could have more space to move around in this tiny room. I only did this exercise once throughout the entire quarantine time, but it was really one of the best activities that makes me feel great.
I'm so tired. This is the first time I'm doing HIIT. I've never done that, but because I don't have any mat or space, I'm just doing this standing HIIT. It's shining, my hand is so sweaty.
21 days of quarantine is not fun or easy experience, but what I've learned from this experience is that it makes me even more appreciate what I don't get to do. Simple things like breathing into the fresh air and the convenience of accessing laundry and food. It reminds me of not taking things for granted. If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumb up and subscribe and share my videos. I also invite you to join my Patreon community if you want to interact with me more outside of YouTube and want to support my content creation. Have a great day.
Walking back to my hotel room right now, but this test is, oh God.